speaking of movies, you said that you're waiting for people to figure out that you're not really an actress. They keep giving you these movie roles.
It's the best kept secret in Hollywood. Can't act worth a shit. I really can't. All I can do, it's hard for me to transition out of me into somebody else because my personality is so big. Except I did it twice. I think I did it well in this movie called Never Die Alone with DMX, where I played this bartender named Jasper, and I looked like myself, but I really was just being a bartender chick and sort of in the underworld of the movie. But this Dolemite movie that's getting ready to come out, you know, starring the great Eddie Murphy as Rudy Ray Moore, Dolemite, and me as his aunt. I forgot my name. I'm his aunt though. And, you know, I cut my nails, had a wig,
Okay.
you know, was transformed back into the 70s and early 80s, and had to shoot in a house that had literally everything I ever grew up with in it. You know, these set designers are amazing. I mean, like the kind of egg timer that my mom used to have, and the flour sifter thing like this. You know, this is all in the kitchen. I'm like, whoa, you know, so it wasn't hard for me to feel like one of my aunts did in this setting to play Eddie's aunt. So I think, from what I've heard, and they had a cast and crew screening, but I was on the road, of course, but my manager went. He told me this shit is so fire and so legit that Eddie killed this shit, and that the movie in general is just amazing, and that people was very proud of my shit, and that, you know, I was able to transform and be somebody else, and that it was gonna get released in May, but I heard they may release it in October. It's Netflix, by the way, you know, because it's gonna be, you know, you can be nominated for awards and stuff during that time. So that's how good they say it is. I can't wait for this bitch to drop. It's the thing I hate about movies. You gotta wait so goddamn long. Yeah.
And I mean, working with Eddie Murphy, and we talked about this last time, that to me is...
Makes my nipples hard.
I would say that's the most talented comedian, all across the board. I mean, there's also, Jamie Foxx.
Of my generation, yeah.
Jamie Foxx, which I think is probably a better singer than Eddie.
I don't know. Have you heard the Party All the Time?
Party All the Time with Rick James.
God.
Right. Boogie in your butt and all types of other...
Stop it. It's painful.
You know, but in terms of, I think just pure talent, I can't think of anyone more talented than Eddie Murphy.
Well, you know, him and Jamie created so many different characters in one guy. And for Eddie to, if you look at the motherfucking clumps, that shit was fucking epic to play like 6 characters. You know, Tyler Perry don't do 6. And I love my favorite 2 Eddie Murphy movies actually are Norbit and Boomerang? No.
Boomerang.
Boomerang? Is that the one with Rasputia in it?
With who?
No. Yeah. Okay, Norbit and Boomerang.
Yeah.
Boomerang, when he had to play a fucking little nerd, he was so nerdy, and you know, he worked for the. He was ended up being an actor.
Wait, he was a nerd in Norbit.
He was a nerd in Norbit, but he was a nerd in no, not Boomerang. No, that's the one with that's the one with with
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry and Marcus and the Bangity Panties. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love those 2.
Right. Coming to America was my favorite one.
Well, Coming to America, now that's a whole conversation. We love Coming to America so motherfucking much and have not let it go. No. Black folks went motherfucking batshit Coming to America wedding, Coming to America baby shower, Coming to America barbecue, Coming to America bar mitzvah, you know, everything. Everybody went Coming to America goddamn crazy. And now God has blessed us with the advent of Coming to America 2, which is in the process of being still written right now.
Okay, it's just being written. It hasn't been...
Yeah, it's not finished, it's not being cast. Nah, it's not in production yet from what I hear. I got my motherfucking ears open. I'm like, you know, I can be something.
Well, you mentioned working with DMX. That's another person with a lot of demons, a lot of problems. What was that like working with DMX? I've interviewed him once, and he's like just a firecracker in person.
Well, I worked with him for many, many days and kicked it with him for a couple of nights. Me and my husband, who's right over there, can testify. So at this time, when Never Die Alone was being shot, he was at the, peak of his shit, Rough Rider shit. But we were on a movie set now. We weren't at the club and shit. So we didn't work early. We didn't come to work till about 4 o'clock in the evening. Luckily, my scenes were all at night anyway. He was dressed because he was, his character, Donald Glover's character, was very dapper. So he was very dapper. I remember him racing those electronic cars around the set with some of the crew people. One of the days we shot was actually a Mother's Day. He had a big truck come with roses for all the women on the set. I drank my first Louis the 16th, I think, with him. And he told me about the crystal top and the bottle and everything, and let me keep a bottle, actually. And we smoked some great weed. And then me and my husband went to the studio with him one night. And I thought I was going to lose my life. Because I rode, I think it was me and my husband, I rode with X. No, I rode with X. Some convertible, like old school.
Oh, he was driving?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
And there was Caravan behind us. And the studio was off Sunset. And we left the set, which was downtown. No, this was the night of the rap party, I think. Or one of these. We left from downtown to go to way down by the Laugh Factory, and X was driving no less than 90 miles an hour, running red lights. I was mortified. I thought I was going to have a heart attack, and I said, this is it. This is it. I knew I was going to die this night. I'm going to die in a car accident with this motherfucker. Why'd I get in the car with this motherfucker? And we made it to the studio by the grace of God. I almost had a heart attack, but we went in the studio, hung out. He laid some tracks and shit. Then we stayed there till about 6 in the morning, came out. He wanted to go to breakfast. Like, we're done. Okay? Done, X. Going to fuck out.
Yeah, I remember I interviewed him.
Oh,
man,
my
this
God.
was like
oh, God. Oh.
over 10 years ago. And I remember the one topic that came up as we were all in the studio talking was his insane driving.
It's beyond. No, it's a miracle. If the drugs didn't kill him, the car accident, sure, I thought it was for sure gonna kill him. Cause his shit, he's out of he should never, ever, 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 ever get behind the wheel, ever, ever, ever. And this shit is true. It ain't no legend. I lived it. I lived it.